athletic position. Here the athlete demonstrates a proper athletic position with the weight distributed over the balls of the feet and hips sitting backward. Notice how when she sits into this athletic position, she's utilizing her hips to push backward and maintaining a neutral spine. Again, in this position, the weight is toward the balls of the feet and not toward the heels. From this view in the athletic position, the shoulders remain level, the head remains neutral, and the hips should remain level as the athlete sits back into what we call a quarter squat or an athletic position, maintaining proper knee alignment and not allowing the knees to rotate inward. Her feet in this position are pointed straight ahead. As the athlete shifts into a single leg stance, you can see that none of the angles are changed and she maintains a proper knee alignment. From the side view, again, utilizing the hips first, sitting back, stabilizing that position, maintaining weight on the balls of the feet. Squat. And the athletic squat is initiated from hinging at the hips and finishing with knee flexion, emphasizing loading the posterior chain and loading the hamstrings and glutes more so than pushing the knees forward as the athlete sits down into a squat position. From this view, we want good weight distribution side to side, level shoulders and hips, and knees remain in a neutral position and do not rotate inward with the feet pointed straight ahead. Tuck jumps. Here the athlete vertical jumps off the ground, bringing both knees to the shoulders aggressively, landing back into a squat position. This exercise is great for teaching the athlete to land with flexed hips and knees and soften the landing while exploding back up in the air. Diagonal bounding. Taking off of one foot, landing on the other foot while maintaining proper knee alignment and stabilization. Horizontal hops. Taking off and landing on the same foot while traveling forward, focusing on keeping proper knee alignment and stabilization. Multi-directional lunge. Here the athlete is performing 3 directions of a lunge, beginning with a forward lunge, traveling into a diagonal lunge, then into a lateral lunge. Special emphasis is placed on proper knee, hip, and ankle alignment while not letting the trunk lean outside of the base of support. Single leg squat. As with the double-legged squat, the single leg squat is performed using the hips to initiate the movement as the athlete sits back, allows the trunk to flex forward, and maintains proper knee alignment, keeping the knee aligned between the foot and the hip. Bench squat. In this exercise, the athlete stands on one leg, sits her hips back to the bench, touches the bench using good mechanics and control while raising back onto that single leg. This is a great exercise to evaluate single leg strength. Russian hamstrings lowering. With a partner assisting, holding the ankles, the athlete attempts to lower his or her body down toward the floor while holding with the knees. Be sure to keep the trunk in a rigid position as long as you can, supporting your body weight with your hamstrings. Fall into your hands softly. Russian hamstrings. In this exercise, the athlete is going to fall as far forward as she feels comfortable, catch and pull back up using the muscles in the backs of her thighs. The assistant or the partner has to be sure to hold tight at the ankles while the athlete leans forward, catches, and uses the muscles in the backs of her thighs to pull back to the starting position. Russian hamstrings quick. Beginning in a push-up position on your knees, have the athlete perform a small quick push-up while trying to catch and hold that position with the muscles in the backs of the thighs. If your athlete has a difficult time with calves cramping during this exercise, have them simply point their toes down into the floor and hold this position. Inverted hamstrings. This is a great exercise for learning to tension the backs of the legs while using the upper body or trunk as your tensioning device. This athlete here is really focusing on keeping her trunk and leg moving at the same time while loading the backs of the legs. Notice from the front view, the athlete is able to keep her hips level in the back and not have one hip pop higher than the other. This is a very common error in this exercise. This is also a great balancing exercise. Balance and reach. Have the athlete stand on one foot with the knees slightly flexed. Reach in a forward direction. Reach laterally with one hand while trying to maintain proper knee alignment. Reach laterally with the other hand, again while trying to maintain proper knee alignment. And then have the athlete reach across her body using one or both hands. Single leg balance ball handling. While the athlete's balancing on one foot, have them perform ball handling drills on the opposite foot. Again, maintain proper knee and hip alignment while performing different skills. This can be done stationary, as well as this can be done with passing the ball. Balance around the world. Again, athlete is balancing on one foot as she passes the ball around different levels. This is a good exercise for changing trunk position while focusing on maintaining proper knee and foot alignment during a balancing exercise. Balance is very important in developing good lower body control for landing and change of direction. This athlete is performing this exercise and having difficulty with it. That's okay. Have them continue to repeat the exercise until they feel comfortable standing on one foot and changing levels with their trunk. Linear decelerations. Have the athlete begin in a sprinting stance, accelerate 5 yards, and then decelerate using short steps and lowering their center of gravity into a lunge position. From the side view, you can see the athlete begins to lower center of gravity and shorten up steps, sinking into a nice linear deceleration position, holding posture. Athletic deceleration. Traveling 5 yards, have the athlete practice accelerating quickly and using short, aggressive steps to widen the base of support and lower center of gravity. Athletic deceleration 10 yards. Again, have the athlete work on aggressive acceleration followed by deceleration using long to short steps, high to low center of gravity, and narrow to wide footwork. In this position, the athlete will square the feet up to the line of deceleration. Traveling 10 yards requires the athlete to take more steps in deceleration than the 5-yard version. Athletic shade deceleration. Again, have the athlete aggressively accelerate for 5 yards followed by deceleration. This time, have the athlete focus on beginning with short aggressive steps and changing body angle 45 degrees one direction or the other. The purpose of this drill is to teach the athlete to take away one direction of their opponent. This will help in being able to change direction quickly without having to react to either side. An athlete who is able to perform this athletic shade is much more likely to be able to produce force in that direction, allowing the athlete to react more quickly and minimize the reaction component that oftentimes leads to these devastating ACL injuries. "90-degree cuts." Here the athlete accelerates 5 yards on a 45-degree angle, comes to a full athletic deceleration, then open steps in the direction that they intend to go. This drill is focusing on maintaining proper body positioning while learning to decelerate prior to changing direction. This is using good footwork with multiple small aggressive steps to decelerate the body versus a jump stop. From this angle, you'll see again the athlete using proper deceleration, opening up the feet, widening your base of support. As the athlete comes to deceleration, the step is an open step versus an aggressive lateral step with the trail foot. This footwork allows the athlete to center her mass over her base of support and not get overextended out to the side. Front plank. This exercise is performed by holding an isometric or static position on forearms and toes. Make sure the midsection remains tight and the lower back remains flat. Front plank with leg lift. Again, assuming a forearm and toe position, back stays flat, abs are tight. Extend one hip by squeezing that side's glute muscle. Side plank progression. Begin this exercise on knees and forearm. Focus on lifting hips off the floor. This can be progressed into a lift of the top leg and later progressed into beginning with the top leg, off the bottom leg, then lifting. This exercise emphasizes using your lateral or side stability to maintain posture. The fourth exercise in this progression progresses to straight legs. In a straight leg position, the athlete will lift midsection off the floor using the outside of the foot and forearm to stabilize. Maintain a proper level hip and shoulder position and in line from nose to belly button all the way between the toes. This can be progressed to lifting the top leg off the bottom leg after the lift, and again can be progressed into beginning with the top leg off the bottom leg into a lift. Glute bridge progression. Begin in a hook lying position on your back. Flatten your lower back into the floor by tightening up your abs and squeezing your glutes. Then press through your heels to lift your hips up off the floor. This exercise can then be progressed into a knee extension and hold, or beginning with one leg off the ground and pressing through one leg.